I'm Larry Menti. Welcome back to Another Thing. If a company was willing to help you pay off your student loan, would you be more likely to work for that company than a competitor? More and more companies are doing just that. Here to talk about it is Jovan Hackley, I love this title, who is Chief Evangelist at a company called Student Loan Genius, and they are out of Texas. Thank you, sir, for being here. Your company helps companies who want to set up a system to help their employees pay off their student loans, right?
Exactly.
And how many companies are doing this right now?
So in the country, probably maybe 100, 120, but the way that things work is this is only about a year and a half in terms of innovation that's been in the market. And so we've picked up 90% of our 47 clients in the past 12 months.
And it sounds like a wonderful idea. How does it help the company?
So the real deal is employers actually have an issue right now. Retention and highly skilled work, thinking about lawyers, thinking about doctors, technology professionals. It's hard to keep them. So if you're in San Francisco, your developers are going out of the door really, really fast because there's always a more attractive offer. So what really creates the continuity and the connection to help the company get to the next stage and really gives the employee a reason to stay? You need a benefit that's really affecting something that's on their bottom line, that's really on their mind, that's tangible in terms of results right now. And so student loans are that problem.
Have you done a survey, I assume you have, of candidates or people that have taken jobs, and was this one of the reasons they did it?
And there's a lot of data around this space. Our data shows that 83% of those who have student loans say that it's a decision-making benefit in terms of deciding where to work.
Over other benefits?
Not over other benefits, but just in terms of you're expecting health insurance, you're expecting some of the other, perks that you've heard about before, but this is one of those innovative pieces that says if I have two equivalent offers on the table, I will go work for this company because they offer this benefit.
I was trying to set you up because I had heard that potential candidates, especially young candidates, would take getting their loan paid off over a 401k.
Well, and that's the interesting thing. So they will take getting their loan paid off over 401k, but we have a solution that allows for the company to provide student loan benefits and contribution to the 401k together as an option for the student loan benefit.
This is just starting to gain steam, this idea?
So it's newly gaining steam because it's funny. Since, I guess, the last 15 years, this student loan problem has skyrocketed. People were coming out with $10,000, $15,000 in the early 90s. That's turned into, for our average user, $61,000. And so it's a new problem in terms of reaching this mass with $1.3 trillion in debt. And if you look at the Congressional Budget Office, they're going to lend out another $1.3 trillion over the next 10 years. So it's something that's on everyone's mind right now. And so the innovation, really does follow the problem. And so we're being the solution. And right now, there's only 2 or 3 companies in the space that are attempting to solve the problem. And we were first to solve the problem. And so it's, been an awesome journey of, making people think that this is possible. Because the reason that you don't hear about student loan benefits is no one thought that you could actually tackle this problem. People considered it a fact of life. And now there's something that they can do about it. And when you tell a company that they can do something to help their employees and tell the employee that there is help for this problem, everyone acts. But, part of it is just getting the message out that something like this exists.
Oh, no, it's a huge problem. And they're saying this may be the next bubble because the debt has gone past credit card debt, it's gone past mortgage debt. And this would be a way of preventing a crash in this if employees would start paying this off. How does the mechanism work? Do they just pay off the loan, or do you have to get some money taken out and they do it like a 401k where they match the monies taken out?
So there's 2 really major components to the student loan issue. When you think about it, so we've got $1.3 trillion in debt, 60 million Americans that are suffering from the problem. But if you look at the data, 90% of them aren't in the right repayment program. So that's the first thing that we do. We help people find, are you in the repayment plan that makes sense for you, for your debt situation, for your life goals? And the other side is where the company comes in and they're going to match. And so there's 2 ways to match. They can contribute directly towards a student loan balance, which has, its own mechanics to it. But the thing that's really attractive right now is you can use a student loan as a trigger to get contributions into your 401k. And that helps the student get ahead or the borrower get ahead, number one, but it also puts the borrower in a situation where if they want to, build a nest egg through 401k and do something like buy a home later to really give them a great savings opportunity.
No, it's such a great idea. I know a lot of people that joined the Army, that joined the National Guard because they said they'd help with their
I almost didn't go to school myself because I was afraid of student loans. I was afraid of taking on that amount of debt.
No, it's a wonderful. I know that Bernie Sanders recently has been running on free college, and so many young people said, look, we don't care about free college. What about our student loans? And he had to actually change his message because he realized there was all these potential voters that he could reach by addressing their student loans. It's going to be a big issue in this political year. I think that your company's doing this at the exact right time.
Now, you know what's funny is we get the question all the time is, what if the legislation comes through? Will your company still exist? So for us, we really want to see the problem solved. So if the government can catch up and put us out of business, great. But the issue is that you're talking about free college. You look at Warren's legislation that wanted to reduce interest rates. Those are great things, but what really deals with the debt in real-time fashion and helps with the payment that people are suffering from today? And that's what we're offering these companies to do. And it takes, 30 to 45 days to get one of these programs up and running.
But it's a great solution. Why aren't you working with the government? Why aren't you working with legislators to come up? This is a solution. What you're talking about right now is a solution to a problem.
Well, with government and legislators, it's a conversation that starts, and so we've started these conversations with them. The deal is being a startup, and having the private interest on your side, you can be a lot more flexible, and so we start the conversation with them and work with them now, but we can help the companies and the students or the borrowers get beyond the debt today.
You know how I knew you were a startup?
How?
Because of your title. Chief Evangelist. Startups have titles like that,
yeah.
Which means that you just do a whole lot of things.
Well, you do a whole lot of things, and what's funny is when you're passionate about the work, you will do a whole bunch of things. The great thing about our team, and it's the differentiator between some of the competitors in this space, is we all have the problem. I graduated with $100,000 in student loans, so did our CEO, and so we're attacking this not as just people who want to start a business, but really solve the issue that's affecting Americans and have caused us all to have roommates or delay starting a family or not be able to buy a home.
No, I understand. It's a huge problem. It's a huge problem in the country, and it's great that you are trying to find a solution to that problem, working with companies, because it seems like it's a win-win for everybody. For your company, for the companies you work with, and for their employees.
Right, and the thing is, it's just convincing employers and employees that there's something that they can do right now. That's really our challenge. So anytime we can scream the word that the benefit exists and that there is something that you can do, it always resonates. It's just getting the word out and getting people to be, I guess, more empowered when it comes down to managing their financial situation and this particular component of it.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for coming in. Jovan Hackley, Chief Evangelist at the company Student Loan Genius. Dawn's up next.